Guys, what's up? It's Joe Ready from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Walker Ford in Clearwater, Florida, and guess what? I have that one vehicle that when you look at it, it really takes you back to the past. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 Ford Bronco. This is the big Bronco with 4 doors, and this is your entry trim known as Big Bend. But before we get into the sand dune colored retro style Bronco, let's talk about what's going on here. So it all goes back to the 1960s, 1966 to be exact, when the Bronco was born. And it's fascinating because over the years, the Bronco really made a name for itself. And for many people, it really was that go-to for an off-roader. Now, there was a period of time when the Bronco was very widely known, all because of something that happened on the news and a certain glass of orange juice that was being chased down the 405 in California. With that situation totally behind Ford, they were able to go back to the roots of the Bronco. Now, you got your full-size Bronco, but they also had the Bronco Sport, and it makes sense because they had a Bronco 2, Roman numeral 2, that was a smaller Bronco. So it's nice to see them still covering all their bases. But what I want to find out with this review is the Big Bend trim, is it that most affordable to go with when you're going Bronco? Or if you're looking at a Wrangler, is it more affordable to go this route with what you're getting? Why don't we go ahead, let's dive into this one and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, sand dune really fits the attitude of a Bronco, especially the full size. Now, when you go Big Bend, you'll notice up front you are getting LED headlights. Love that classic design, round shape to them. You have LED daytime running lamps and turn signals. As you work your way down, you do have your flat black bumper. And of course, you're gonna get black painted tow recovery hooks up front, because even though this may not be a Bronco Raptor or a Wild Track, it still has that off-road capability to it, which really separates it from a lot of the other vehicles out there. Now, as we come across the grille, love the way they spell out the Bronco name. The white pops nicely with the flat black. Fully functional upper grille. Working our way down, you're gonna have this functional opening, and these are your active aero shutters that are gonna open and close, because we do have turbocharged power on all the Broncos. This one, when we pop the hood, we'll talk about the power plant specifically. I like the way they shape the lower bumper area to give you a better approach angle. And the one thing that really separates a Bronco from a Jeep Wrangler is its independent suspension. A much better ride on the road, and even when it comes to off-roading. Now, as we rise back up, love the hood. Very classic in its shape, simple, got a bit of a bulge as you get towards the windshield. We come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So on the Big Bend, these are the wheels that you're getting. This is a 17-inch wheel, nice gunmetal gray finish. I like the single spoke design. Tires are gonna be 255 on the width, 75 series sidewall. So you're getting a beefy sidewall. And these tires are for light off-roading. You could get different tires for a more extreme punishment. Now, I'm gonna have Steven kind of swing on in. He's gonna show you the upper control arm, the shock absorber, and then on the side you can see our steel box frame. And then the Big Bend does have small fender flares that are flat black. I'm okay with it. It matches the attitude and the other pieces of flat black. All the Broncos get their little side badge, this one with the Big Bend. You do get flat black on the mirrors. What I love about the mirrors is that they're actually attached to the cowl here rather than the door, so that when you remove the door, you still keep your mirrors. The Jeep Wrangler doesn't do that. You take off the doors, you lose your mirrors. This one has the optional hardtop, which I recommend. I love the nice boxy look, and everything is removable when it comes to the top, whether you go soft or hard. I guess it's sort of like, how do you like your tacos? Soft shell or crunchy? Flat black on your door handles. Everything painted that same sand dune color. Coming towards the rear, you can see how that rear suspension is set up. And then as we spin around back, I just like the look is just so spot on, man. The way they did the tail lights, you got your Bronco there, ready to kick somebody in the head, your third brake light, and of course you get a full-size spare, nicely mounted. Working our way down, you have your tow recovery hook, and look at all that great ground clearance down below. Exhaust is up nice and high, and that's gonna allow you to do that, that light off-roading, depending on what type of tires you run. But let me know what you think about the look of this Big Bend in the comment section. We're gonna go pop the hood and see what's powering it. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. I'm not gonna zonk it because guess what? The Jeep Wrangler has a prop rod as well. Underneath the hood is the standard engine, which is the smaller displacement. It is that EcoBoost 2.3 liter inline four. Now you can option in the twin turbo V6, but it's gonna cost you at the end of the day. And we're trying to look at affordability. So this Big Bend 4x4 is utilizing that 2.3 liter turbocharged inline four, 300 horsepower, 325 pound-feet of torque, 10-speed automatic, or with the 4-cylinder turbo, you could get the manual transmission, which would be really awesome. I am looking forward to reviewing one of those one of these days. 0 to 60 in about 7.3 seconds, top speed 120 miles per hour. The vehicle could tow up to 3,500 pounds. MPGs, 18 in the city, 22 on the highway. No engine cover. I guess that's fine because it's not like you're gonna be going to Cars and Coffee and popping the hood. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 4x4 Big Bend. I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, how much is this? If you're talking about affordability, unless you tell me the price, I'm not gonna know. Well, that's why we're here. I'm here to give you the price. MSRP standard is $47,000 for the way that this one is optioned. But with the incentives to get them off the lot, you're looking right around $41,000. $41,000 for a 4x4, four-door Bronco? I don't know. I guess we'll leave the judging up to you. You know how we do it. To the door panels. Love that two-tone, and it matches the sand dune exterior nicely with the tan, with the dark black. Easy to keep clean. You do have a cargo net, which isn't my favorite, but I get it. It's because it's a removable door panel. You could easily take a Yeti can or a Sasquatch bottle and put it in there, no problem. Going from the door panel to the dash, two-tone continues with the black and the tan. Up top, you have your ability to shut your traction control off, that trail turn assist, and I like the fact the way they give you two USB-Cs up by the windshield. You could run cameras, you could run all sorts of stuff and have it nice charged up there. All of them get the 12-inch infotainment system, the Sync 4, great size, and I like the way it's integrated into the dash, not just stuck on. You can go into your different features, your different apps, and you have navigation. So that's really nice. Throw it into reverse, backup camera, clear as day, and guess what? It takes up all of the visual space, and you have the trajectory. Start stop button. If you notice, it's designed to look just like the headlight. It's the little touches. Real knob for your audio. You do get dual climate, which is really nice. 3 stages of heated seats. Down below, USB-C, USB-A. Here's where you could dump some Smarties. This is where you could place some off-road Twinkies, 3 of them. I love the way that they do the riveted badge there. This controls your 10-speed automatic. You got your GOAT modes, go over any terrain, and your push button or push section for your 4x4. 2 high, 4 low, 4 high. All your window controls are inboard, and also the controls for your mirrors. Soft touch, like the contrast stitching. Open it up. Whoa! What is that? Whoa. Somebody put a freaking squirrel in there. So you can fit a squirrel in the center console or a little kitten. But please don't leave them in your Bronco unattended. That's all I got to say. Oh, I don't know who put a squirrel in there. Seats, they are cloth, but I'm digging the two-tone. Matches nicely the exterior. All manual controls on a Bronco for the passenger, for the driver, and of course all the root panels come off. It's really easy. You're just going to take the switches, the toggles, you just slide them over, and everything is removable. So all the panels. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel in this Big Bend. Hi guys, business time. Behind the wheel, there's those manual seat controls, just like the passenger side. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here. Steering wheel, the leather. I love the way it's got the Bronco, flat black on all the switch gear, manual tilting and telescoping wheel, and then even the Big Bend gets that 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. You can scroll through a cornucopia. Look at that, auxiliary gauges, and you have your GOAT modes. Go over any terrain, including sand and mud/ruts. So nice to have the different modes, even eco, so you could really be nice to the environment while you're ripping it up while you're going off-roading. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat area and see if your passengers are going to be happy you went Bronco over something else like the Wrangler. All right guys, back seat time in this Bronco 4-door. You have nice usable space. Seats are comfy. Let me see if I could recline these a little bit because I'm sitting upright. Let's see, I think you got to come up here. So a little bit, not much, but that kind of helped. You do have pockets for all sorts of things. You could put a calculator, an abacus, a Game Boy, maybe even some Tiger handheld electronic games. You got your AC vents, inboard window controls, and look at this, USB-Cs and a home power source. That's quite nice for this price point. Sitting here feels good. You got your oak crap handle, and I wouldn't call it an armrest. It's a cup holder because there's really nowhere to put your arm unless you want to put it in the cup holder. And then the seats, same style as up front. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the cargo area because I want to show you what this Bronco is bringing. All right guys, cargo area time. Even though it's not really useful if you're in a parallel parking situation, I do like the way you have that barn door style that swings open and then you lift up the rear glass. You can see all the room that you have. Tons of space. When you're looking at cargo space, you're looking at 52 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Fold the seats down. That's going to give you 83 cubic feet of space. I do like the little touches, like there's the little Bronco on your LED lighting. You do have a multi-banana holder back here, and on the passenger side there's a 12 volt. How do I know? It says 12V. So unless there's something else that starts with a V, I'm going to say that's a 12 volt. Now to close it up, always do the glass first, swing that barn door in, and if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go take this Big Bend for a little spin. All right guys, we are inside this 2025 Bronco, the Big Bend trim, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it into sport mode, and we're gonna go on throttle here. I'm actually gonna slow down a little bit, then we're gonna go on throttle. Nobody behind us, thankfully. So sport mode, you ready? On throttle, here we go. Nice. I tell you, it's impressive just how responsive the 2.3 liter turbocharged engine is. And you know, they use it in everything from the Bronco to the Ranger to the Ford Explorer, the Escape. Well, not the Escape, scratch the Escape, but definitely the Explorer, and even the EcoBoost Mustang. So this 2.3 liter turbocharged engine really does get around, so to speak, and I think that will help people with when they think of, is it reliable? Because Ford does have a lot of experience with this engine. I do love the fact that you have that nice digital gauge cluster. The digital readouts on the dual climate control are wonderful. And because you have a lighter off-road, more street-oriented tire, it actually is going to ride even better than one that has a more off-road spec tire. You are going to get wind noise because guess what? You're in a vehicle with removable doors and a removable hardtop. So that is going to happen any way you look at it. But the good news is over, like I said, a Wrangler, you are going to get the much better riding and driving experience because of that independent suspension. Visibility is great. I love the fact that it has the classic boxy Bronco style to it. And the fact that even though this is a lower trim, you still are getting quite a few things for the money, especially with the incentives. $41,000, there's just not a lot of cars and vehicles out there in that price point anymore that give you as much as this Bronco Big Bend does. But the 10-speed shifts very, very well. And nice to have that full 4x4 hardware. And it's quite rugged for what it is. Right, we're gonna go on throttle again. On throttle, here we go. You are getting some sound pumped in through the speakers, but the good news is that it's a nice clear sound to help balance out the 2.4 liter turbocharged engine. And the fact that everything is easily accessible, from some storage to the center console, everything is well located and well sorted on the interior, and it has a really, really nice driving ergonomics posture to it, like good seating position, visibility out the front, out the back, the side mirrors. Everything is really, really well sorted in this Bronco. And then even getting to the 12.3 inch infotainment system. Obviously it's raining right now, so that's what you're hearing on the windshield. But of course I feel very comfortable, very confident in the Bronco, because I could easily take my finger, push 4 high, and that's going to shift us into that 4x4 system, which is really nice. On throttle, here we go. So even with the 4x4 engaged, you're still getting some nice acceleration, not really waiting for the boost buildup. There's not a lot of boost lag, and very, very responsive engine. And with the 10-speed automatic, it really does a great job with overall drivability. But I'm hoping that this has been a good, quick overall review of what this Bronco Big Bend is bringing for the money. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day here at Walker Ford. Definitely gotta thank Frank Walker, Western Walker, and Tracy getting us access to this 2025 Big Bend. Let me know what you think for the money. Is this the most affordable 4x4? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raise Rides family. Gotta give it to Stephen Flood. He just is one of those guys that brings joy to many people's lives. He also brings pain, but if you get on his good side, you only get the joy. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.